Mushroom picker finds 3,300-year-old Bronze Age sword. In the Czech Republic, a man who was mushroom picking close to his home ended up finding a 3,300-year-old sword from the Bronze Age. According to Radio Prague International, it was reported that a local resident, Roman Novak, found the ancient sword in a forest in Jesenico, northern Moravia, whilst he was indulging in the Czech tradition of mushroom picking, or mushroom hunting as it's also known. He said, "It had just rained and I went mushroom picking. As I went, I saw a piece of metal sticking out of some stone. I kicked it and found that it was a blade, part of a sword. I then dug some more to find a bronze axe." As soon as Roman Novak found the sword, he contacted archaeologists who immediately began preparations to excavate the forest as well as to run a series of tests on the ground and on the artifact itself. According to Yuri Uchelka, who leads the archaeology department at the nearby Silesian Museum, the sword and the axe are around 3,300 years old and date back to roughly 1,300 BC. Both artifacts resemble weapons that were mainly used in what would today be known as northern Germany. Yuri Uchelka then went on to say, "This sword has an octagonal hilt. This is just the second sword of this type that's ever been found in these places." This came as a big surprise to the experts because the area in which the artifacts were found was sparsely populated back in 1300 BC. However, the tests undertaken on the soil have confirmed that the artifacts are, in fact, local. Yuri Uchelka explained that 3,300 years ago, this part of Europe was inhabited by the Urnfeld people. They were so named because of their custom of placing the cremated bones of the dead in urns and then burying them in a field. At that time, they were in an early state of development, and the sword that was found would have been considered to be extremely valuable within their culture. It's said that the manufacturing of the sword that was found would have been substantially different from the manufacturing of the iron sword of a later date. The iron sword would have needed forging, and therefore would have required a smith to hammer the red-hot metal into the shape needed. The bronze swords, on the other hand, were made by melting the bronze metal into liquid and pouring it into a mold. The sword that was found was not the best example of the latter method. Yuri Uchelka reported to Radio Prague International. They were obviously trying their best, but the quality of the casting was actually pretty low. X-ray tests show that there are many small bubbles inside the weapon. This suggests that the sword was not used in combat, but was instead of symbolic value. His colleague, Milan Rickley, who works at the Ethnographic Museum, said, "It's like a puzzle. We just have 4 little shards from the story that took place right now, so we have to start piecing everything together." He then went on to confirm that archaeologists are planning to survey the area in which the sword and axe were found. They're going to see if they can find any other artifact in the area that might give us a deeper insight into the people who inhabited the region many years ago. The world is filled with stories going viral every single day. But how many of these sites can you actually follow? We understand that your day should start with positive stories, stories that resonate with you. And so we started JoJo Stories. Our mission is to create meaningful stories that cover everything from animals to anthropology, history to environment and lifestyle. The kind of content you read on our site will be one you'll want to share with your family and friends. We hope you'll join our growing family and be part of our community. Welcome to JoJo Stories, jojostories.com.